Straight ahead on WB17 News at 10, two dollar store employees have been murdered. Tonight, the search is on for suspects.
Plus, a freak accident tonight on I95 leaves one person dead and causes major traffic tie-ups.
Then President Clinton comes to town, find out what he had to say to college students.
And ever wonder what you'd look like if you lost a few pounds? We'll show you how to get a morph over.
Those stories plus a warning about certain candles.
WB17 News at 10 starts right now.
This is WB17 News at 10.
For the second time in a week, a tire has flown through a windshield and killed a person on I-95. Good evening, everyone. I'm Tony Yates.
And I'm Steve Highsmith. Another fatal crash caused by a freak accident on one of the Delaware Valley's most heavily traveled highways. Tonight's occurred about 7 o'clock at the Ron Street curve of I-95 southbound, just north of Cotman Avenue in Holmesburg. That's where our Wendy Dockenbaugh is live right now with the latest. Wendy?
Hey, Steve, we are on Ashburner Street, and the accident was just about a half mile from here, right around the curve, if you can see it behind me, where I-95 crosses over Ron Street. According to police, a Pontiac was heading north on I-95 when it lost its front left tire. The tire flew through the air, bounced over the guardrail, and slammed into the windshield of a Jeep going south. The passenger of that Jeep, a 22-year-old suburban Philadelphia woman who has yet to be identified, died of severe head trauma. On Saturday morning, in almost the same spot, a 49-year-old West Deptford man was killed the same way.
To be very aware when you're traveling on an interstate highway that absolutely anything can happen. This is a tragic coincidence, but at this point I can't think of it as anything else but a tragic coincidence.
In tonight's accident, it was a car that lost its tire, and that car was disabled about a quarter mile further up the highway. Saturday's accident, a truck lost its tire, and the trucker never stopped. Saturday's accident also happened around 6 a.m., very early in the morning when there was very little traffic on the road. Tonight's accident was at the very tail end of the evening rush, and Officer Schlupp says it is a miracle that no other vehicles were involved and neither driver was injured. Live above I-95 in Holmesburg, I'm Wendy Dockenbaugh. Steve.
Thank you, Wendy. And another very bad accident to tell you about tonight. The Atlantic City Expressway westbound in Washington Township, Gloucester County, is shut down at this hour after a serious accident. It happened just a short while ago, and police say at least 2 cars have been involved in the crash, and it looks like a very bad one. Authorities say at least 1 person is being treated at Atlantic City Medical Center. Again, the Atlantic City Expressway westbound in Washington Township, Gloucester County, is shut down at this hour. In other news this night, a double murder in northeast Philadelphia near the Franklin Mills Mall. 2 employees of the Dollar Express store and the Home Design Complex Center were shot and killed execution style this morning during what appears to have been a robbery. Tonight, police have made some progress but still search for the killer. Our Byron Scott is standing by live at the scene, Tony.
Byron, are you there?
Yeah, Tony. Investigation led police tonight to Northern Liberties. Just a short while ago, they towed a truck away on this block here, Laurel Street, they believe may have been connected to the crime. Now, police say that robbery was the motive, that a safe was broken into, and that an amount of money was stolen. And right now, they're looking for 1 or more suspects. Right now, again, looking for 1 or more suspects in this crime. That truck just taken a short while out of here. 2 people were killed in this crime in northeast Philadelphia, both being shot in the head. Gruesome discovery was made at about 6:15 this morning. 2 employees of the Dollar Express store at the Home Design Center complex near Franklin Mills Mall. They were found in the back of the Dollar Express. They had been shot in the head.
These poor people, looks like they were shot execution style in the head. They never had a chance.
Delivery men with Lehigh Valley's dairies found the victims and called 911. 42-year-old assistant manager Gertrude Ritterson was pronounced dead at the scene. 46-year-old William Dutch, also an employee, was pronounced dead at Franklin Torresdale Hospital. Detectives delivered word to his mother.
I asked him, where was my son? I said, is he in the hospital? And they said, no, he was at the medical examiner's office. I said, what does it mean? I said, does it mean my son is dead? And then they told me he was dead, yeah.
She buried her husband 6 weeks ago. He died of a sudden heart attack here. And then, her daughter was pregnant with twins. And then her daughter, Donna, lost them 2 weeks after.
At about 5 tonight, police located a truck on the 100 block of Laurel Street in Northern Liberties. It's the same truck that was stolen from a lot near the Dollar Express 2 to 3 hours before the murders.
Some guy came by and said, hey, they're looking for a truck like that. And we walked over and seen it was a Spain's truck, and we called 911, and the police came out.
The truck is owned by the parent company of Dollar Express. That company, Spain, is offering a $25,000 reward for information leading to an arrest and conviction in this case. And as for the victims, Dutch leaves behind 2 teenage children. As for the other victim, Bridison, she leaves behind 6 children. Live in Northern Liberties, I'm Byron Scott. Tony.
An incredibly sad story. Thank you very much, Byron. In Gloucester County, an elderly woman attacked in her home has died. Police are charging an acquaintance, a 69-year-old man, with the murder. The attack happened Tuesday at this home on the 200 block of Lincoln Avenue in Whitman. A relative found 77-year-old Alma Brown unconscious on the kitchen floor. Brown died this afternoon. Police say 69-year-old Earl Jervis of Woodbury strangled her.
Unfortunately, we get many crimes against senior citizens, but it's not usually the accused is not a senior citizen. This was a very unusual situation in Gloucester County.
Police say Jervis was the last person seen leaving Brown's home the day she was attacked. Bail has been set at $1 million for 29-year-old Miguel Figueroa, charged with killing and sexually assaulting a Camden girl in 1995. 13-year-old Shalene Seguinot disappeared while riding her bike near her home. 3 days later, she was found stabbed to death behind a school. Today, Seguinot's family got their first glimpse at the alleged killer.
This is the first time I saw him, and walking in there, I had mixed emotions. Right now, I'm kind of like in shock, still in shock, but I'm glad he is off the streets.
The prosecutor says DNA evidence links Figueroa to the crime. They haven't decided whether to seek the death penalty.
A judge ruled today that the Baja Beach Club can be open for business this weekend. The club was shut down during a drug raid last Friday. The owner says his club was unfairly targeted. It was allowed to reopen Sunday night as long as 24 cops were there. Today, the judge said the club must reimburse the city by Friday for the cost of those officers, and he wants the club to hire a private security force to prevent drug sales and nudity. And one Philadelphia city councilman is trying to put an end to teen nights at clubs like Baja Beach Club. Today, Councilman Jim Kinney introduced a bill prohibiting anyone under 18 from entering any club with a liquor license, even while no alcohol is being served. He also introduced a bill today on another matter that would lower the number of dogs and cats allowed in Philadelphia homes from 12 to 4. And pets would have to be neutered or spayed unless pet owners get special permission. Controversy tonight at the Free Library of Philadelphia, and it isn't over the Dewey Decimal System.
That's right. 12-year-olds can now check out R-rated movies at the library. Last year, city council members were angry that the library was letting people as young as 14 get an adult borrower's card. But recently, the library lowered the age to 12, saying the change was made after studying what other major libraries around the country are doing. A spokesperson said the library reviewed all films carefully to make sure they're appropriate.
We don't make the decision based on the rating. We make the decision based on the quality of the film.
But when we asked to see the library's video collection, they declined to show us. Gennardi's Family Market shoppers won't be hit with hot sex tips at the magazine rack. The supermarket chain has issued magazine blinders to its 33 stores. Managers place the blinders in front of any cover they think is too risque, revealing only the magazine's name. Kroger supermarkets began covering up Cosmopolitan magazine in the checkout aisles of its stores last month.
Governor Christie Whitman today got fingerprinted. Whitman put her prints on paper to promote her new plan to do state and federal background checks on all early childhood education workers in New Jersey. Whitman wants to spend nearly $8 million over the next 3 years to fingerprint every child care employee in the Garden State. The governor says parents deserve to be assured that the people who are dealing with their children do not pose a threat.
President Clinton came to the University of Pennsylvania today. The president talked about how the economy has improved under his administration since he was last here 8 years ago as a candidate for president. Clinton says he wants to keep the economy rolling on the strength of the internet, and he made a pitch to allow China into the World Trade Organization and to broaden U.S. presence in other markets around the world.
It broadens consumer choice, and something else that has happened that almost nobody talks about is that the fact that we have had open markets has contributed to greater competition and kept down the risk of inflation.
Mr. Clinton will meet this spring with economists and business leaders at the White House to talk more about economic growth. Much more still ahead tonight. Tanya Harding heads to court. Hear the 911 call that led to her arrest.
Plus, the newest weight loss trend, cyber slimming. See how it's done. Mike, nothing personal there, don't mean it.
I hope not. In sports, it's the Flyers and Pens at the center, without their top stars, by the way. And Temple looking for a little revenge, just like I am against Steve. Temple's playing St. Bonaventure. Highlights later. See you then.
Well, we got a couple fronts on the way. Going to produce some rain, maybe even a thunderstorm. Coming up, Weber with the weather on the WB.
And the battle of the dueling diets.
Nothing personal. It's all still ahead on WB17 News at 10.
The most powerful V6 engine in its class. The most interior space in its class. Amenities that would surprise you in any class. For those seeking refuge from mediocrity and compromise, we offer the Sanctuary. Presenting the all-new Infiniti i30. It's all the best thinking.
Duncan, just ask. We're really lost this time.
Come on, I read the map.
You can't even fold a map.
Okay, I'll ask.
Thank you.
Hey, a little help here? Looking for Discovery Cove?
You do have reservations, don't you?
I think they'll let us in.
Now you can swim with dolphins, rays, and thousands of tropical fish. No barriers, no crowds, no lines. New Discovery Cove in Orlando.
Would you flood the engine again?
It's late, and you're tired. This is no time to have to return a movie. So now Blockbuster gives you until noon the next day to return it. 'Cause it's late, and you're tired.
Rent Double Jeopardy this week at Blockbuster and keep it 12 hours longer. Framed for a crime she never committed. She's after the truth, and they're after her. Tommy Lee Jones and Ashley Judd star in the action thriller Double Jeopardy. Rated R. Guaranteed to be there this week at Blockbuster.
We've made it easier to separate yourself from the crowd with a new Dodge Intrepid. With its sleek cab-forward design and expansive yet cozy interior. Right now, Intrepid offers 0.9% financing for up to 60 months that could save you over $4,600. In a perfect world, everything would be different. Until then, see the friendly Dodge dealer near you during our President's Week event.
Former Olympic skater Tanya Harding got 2 orders from a judge today.
That's right. Stay away from booze and a boyfriend. Harding was in court to face charges of domestic violence and assault for punching him and throwing a hubcap at him, and then she called 911.